movie and A Night in Heaven. Um, and then when I was 16, and so the pirate movie, sorry, let me back up a little bit. So I did Blue Lagoon, and then I did a TV movie with Diane Lane. I was dating at the time, and it was called Child Bride of Short Creek. And I'll never forget my manager at the time getting so much grief for that and putting me in the TV series Dallas, because back then movie stars didn't do TV. And it was a huge ordeal that I was doing a TV movie and then I was doing Dallas, because movie stars didn't do TV. Now, as you know, they do everything. But that was a big deal. And the Dallas, I was supposed to do two seasons, but I was going to do a play on Broadway with Gina Lollobrigida, and then the producer died, and so that kind of ended that. So I only did one season of Dallas, but that was another story, crazy, fun, and the whole deal. But when I was 16 years old and I was living in Rye, I was teaching sailing to little kids, and one of the mothers of one of the little kids came up to me, and she was the one that got me into the modeling with her family, and through that, all of this happened. But from the minuscule paycheck that I got teaching sailing at the club, the American Yacht Club, I would put $1 away for someday when I had kids. And I don't know why at 16 years old that I just really, really, really wanted kids, but I've always wanted kids. So after the pirate movie and A Night in Heaven, this was not long after Dallas, or maybe it was just before Dallas, I ended up meeting my wife, and we were about to have my son. And so I kind of didn't chase the business as much. I mean, was on a pretty good roll. The pirate movie didn't do as well in the box office, but my God, later it became this massive, I still to this day can't believe what a massive cult hit that movie became. But anyway, that's a whole other story. But I kind of ducked out of the business to be a dad. And that's when a lot of things happened. That's when I went through rehab. Because during this point in time, I was drinking probably more than I should have, and I wasn't being myself. And I just decided I'd rather be a dad than a drunk. So I did. I went through rehab and went through all that sort of stuff. To this day, I still haven't, knock on wood and everything. So it's 36 years, and
Wow.
and that's what I did. So I kind of ducked out, and you have to chase the business. I mean, you have to be out there, having sex with a goat or something, and then people will, oh my gosh, did you see what happened? This kind of thing. And I just didn't do any of that. I wanted to be a dad, and man, it goes so fast. Now I'm a grandpa. I mean, that's how quick it goes. So yeah, 43 years later, like you said, holy crap. I mean, blink of an eye.
What do your kids think of the Blue Lagoon? Like, I imagine, have you watched it with them? What do they think of it?
Well, I'll tell you a very funny story. Hang on one second. Mom's
Sure.
calling.
Oh,
Hey, Mom. Yes, I wash behind my ears and I brush my teeth. I get a star for today. Hey, listen, I'm right in the middle of a Zoom interview. Can I call you back? Okay. Hey, wait. I love you.
that's
Okay.
sweet.
So what were you saying?
Have your kids,
Oh,
like,
the
what do they
kids.
think? Yeah, I imagine
I'll
they've
tell you.
watched it.
I'll, I'll tell you. I'll tell you a funny story. So my daughter-in-law, my son's wife, said to my son, she said, I think this is really awkward because I think I saw your dad naked before I saw you. So I went, oh yeah, that is kind of weird, isn't it? So my daughter's more of a fan. She did a couple of movies in Africa as an actress. My son really didn't want anything to do with it. He was into his sports and stuff too.
It sounds like you weren't really chasing the business anyway, because you were going through this and now you're sober and you really chose to be a dad. But like, Did you feel like, oh, like I'm typecast? Like, did you get jealous of Brooke? Like, she was everywhere afterwards, or I'm just giving, I mean, did you, or am I just giving you a backstory that is not true?
No, no, no. Absolutely, I was jealous. Absolutely. I mean, I don't know if it was jealous. It was so much as you get there were those times where you're at baseball practice or you're at a dance recital with your kids because I got a son and a daughter or whatever, and that's the whole thing. And then there's all of a sudden the business, and this is my business, and I kept wishing, I guess, or jealous that uh, I'm not in an A movie again. Do you know what I mean? So, and that's where that chasing it has to come because you have to stay hot. How many times have you seen publicity stars become stars because they're publicity stars? They really don't do anything. So yeah, because I could consider myself as an actor. That's what I've done for 43 years. I consider myself, that's my business, and this is my business, and this is what I do. And I still to this day dream of being in an A movie again. And it goes back to, but I'd be so nervous because I still do movies. I did a movie in Czech Republic with Donnie Most not long ago, and I'm about to go direct one, which is a whole nother story. I'll tell you, there's two boxes that I still have to tick in this business that uh, are my bucket list for the business. And that is, I want to make my own picture now. I've done everybody else's movie, from tiny little thing to major motion pictures. And I'm in the business and I want my turn. And so I have some projects that I'm working on now. And then one just came up. And the other thing is I want to direct one. Just those are the two things that I've wanted to do. And all of a sudden now I'm in the middle. I've just signed the directing contract and I've signed a writer's contract. So we're about to start casting and get into that, which I'm very, very excited about. Working on another wonderful picture that I wrote in Australia that combines two of the biggest sports on the planet, baseball and cricket, and it's hysterical. And so I'd love to get Channing Tatum to play in that movie because it's a really heartwarming but hysterical movie. Anyway, and so yeah, it's a lot of fun. And I listen, I've done it. I want to carry the ball for a minute. So
And
that's where I'm at.
this movie is about baseball and cricket.
Well, that's one I'm working on in Australia. This one's sort of a suspense thriller. And it's a whole different, it's kind of got a horror aspect to it, but it's a more of a suspense thriller. So it gets your feet wet kind of thing.
And you want
The
Channing Tatum for the
Well, the
baseball one.
Channing Tatum, oh, I'd love to have it. He would be so great because it's a guy who's kind of a dick but he's got that wink and a smile, so you still like him. And his whole life changes because of this little 10-year-old girl in Australia, and he gets sent to Australia because he's suspended because she's his biggest fan and she's not doing so well. And he's at the end of his game. He's in his 40 something. So he's right at the end of his game. And it's all about fear, and it's all about what happens when the lights go off. And anyway, but he goes to Australia and he gets roped into playing cricket, which he has no idea. So it's a total fish out of water, but with the most out there Crocodile Dundee-ish Australian characters you've ever seen in your life, and it's just really, really funny. But this little girl teaches him about life, basically, and
Well,
it's
we'll
fun.
just put out into the universe to Channing Tatum,
Ah,
when
come
this
on,
comes
Channing.
out.
Yeah, I'd love it.
Your team, because